How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to Rangers Rundown. I'm finally home after my trip to New York City to see this afternoon game against the Seattle Kraken, and I am so glad this was one of the games that I chose. What an ending. The place went ballistic when that final goal went in, so let's talk about it. Kakko, Fox, and Hedl all still injured. Now, the Rangers do play Tuesday night at home against the Florida Panthers, but then they have 2 weeks off. For what would have been the Olympic break. They do make up 2 games towards the end of that Olympic break, and then it's back to business as usual. Fox should be back for that game in the middle of February after the 2-week break, as well as Hedl should also be back for that game. Kakko is week to week, so jury's still out on him. Hopefully all 3 of them are back for those makeup games in the middle of February. The lineup this afternoon: Kreider, Zibanejad, and Lafreniere starting on that top line. Finally, he needs top 6 time. Panarin, Strome, and Gaudreau for line 2. Hunt, Rooney, Reeves for line 3. McKegg, Brodzinski, and Gauthier to round up that 4th line. Miller, Trouba as the top pair with Fox out of the lineup. Lindgren, Schneider. A very nice second pair. I am really enjoying Schneider on this team, and I hope he continues to play even with Fox's return. Hayek, Jones on that bottom pair. I like Jones. He did get an assist tonight. I don't like Hayek. I don't know why he's still in the lineup. And then Shesterkin in net. Slow start to the game for both teams, but then Rooney has a very nice defensive play in the slot. 6.5 minutes in, Gaudreau has a deflection chance in front. Doesn't go in, but it would have been a very nice goal. Grubauer was nice and strong in the beginning of this game. Shesterkin save on a Gord deflection. And then the first line has a very good shift in the offensive zone. Gauthier was almost sprung for a breakaway that I'm sure he would not have scored on, but he would have driven hard to the net with one hand on his stick and then just fluttered it at the pads of the goalie. Seems to be his MO. 10:57, Wenberg takes a tripping penalty, and it takes less than a minute for Zibanejad to rip a one-timer from his office for a power play goal, putting the Rangers up 1-0. Beautiful passing play. If you didn't watch the game, you should go watch the highlights of this game, because some of these Rangers goals tonight were just so good, so nice. This one being one of them. 14:08, Hayek takes a hooking penalty. Very good penalty kill for the Rangers. Seattle player hits Hayek shortly after that penalty is over. Hits him into the boards. They both fall down, but then the Seattle player goes to the bench. It looked like he had hurt his wrist. So tries to put the hit on Hayek, ends up hurting himself. Shesterkin, 2 great saves in the final minute of that period. We end the period, Rangers up 1-0, being outshot 6-14 by the Seattle Kraken. It's not something we're unfamiliar with as Rangers fans, the Rangers winning a game but being badly outshot. So I guess business as usual. Good early pressure in the second period. Panarin line with a very hard shift, and that energy transferred into the top line, also having a very good shift right after leads to a Lafreniere goal at 4:23. Zibanejad one-timer. It ends up right in the crease. Lafreniere's able to just push it right over the goal line. Easiest goal he's going to score all season. You watch the replay. He just stands there afterwards. He's just smiling. He's like, it was a free goal. He's just happy to be there. Jones gets an assist on that goal, so good for Jones. 7:17, McCann answers back with a goal that looked like it was a save at first. Sam Rosen yells, save, but it does trickle over the goal line into the net. So Seattle cuts the lead in half. It's 2-1 Rangers. Halfway through the period, back-to-back icings from the Rangers, so the game's slowing down tremendously. Reeves finally hits somebody after the middle of this period. Not a very physical game from the Rangers. They did pick it up in the later stages of the game, but up until that point, they were just letting Seattle just kind of skate all over the ice. They played a good defensive game, just not a very physical game, so Reeves started to pick it up there. 12:44, Trouba with an interference penalty. He just stood up at the blue line and he knocked somebody over. They didn't have the puck, so obviously that's interference, and then Trouba almost gets into a fight, but they didn't. Schneider on the first penalty kill, which was nice to see, giving him a little more responsibility. 17 minutes into the second period, the Rangers finally get their 10th shot on goal of the game. The Rangers cannot continue to win games consistently when they are getting this badly outshot. When they are getting outshot 2-1 in games, it's just unsustainable. And I know we've been saying that all season. It's unsustainable, and right now they're second in the Metropolitan still. In the playoffs, that will absolutely be unsustainable. You will not make it far in the playoffs when you get outshot 2-1. The fourth line has a good late shift, shot 16-11 in favor of Seattle. So the Rangers with 6 shots in a period for the second time in the game. So Seattle out shooting the Rangers 25-12 so far in the game. Hunt inches away from a tip-in to start this period. 36 seconds in, Appleton takes a tripping penalty, and the power play gets about 90 seconds of solid pressure. 4:28, Reeves takes a high sticking penalty. After the penalty's over, he comes out of the box right into a scoring chance. He comes out, he grabs the puck, he skates it right in for a shot. Does not score, though. That would have been awesome. Halfway through the period, Igor, great save during a crease in the scrum in the crease. 12:18, Dunn takes a hooking penalty, and we're thinking, great, another power play. Rangers can put this up 3-1 and make it really tough for Seattle to come back. That hooking, you can make the argument, and a lot of inebriated Rangers fans around me were loudly making the argument that it should have been a penalty shot for Panarin. I guess the ref disagreed. The ref made a couple questionable calls tonight, but at least the Rangers get a power play. But then they take their first face-off of the power play, and Kreider takes a holding penalty. So it's 1 minute and 57 seconds of 4-on-4. The Rangers got 3 seconds of power play time, but they get 4-on-4 for almost 2 minutes. Miller has a breakaway during that 4-on-4, which foreshadowed his goal later in the period. 5 minutes left, Rangers getting good looks. They're starting to push, shooting more. 16:55, Zibanejad takes a tripping penalty. Goudreau has a shorthanded chance. Goudreau and McKegg have a 2-on-1 shorthanded chance. 24 seconds left on the penalty kill. Seattle takes a timeout to rest their top power play unit, and it ends up working because with 3 seconds left on the power play, Gord would score to tie it. With just over a minute left in the game, Seattle ties it, and everybody in the arena has to think, okay, overtime, at least they get a point if they screw it up in overtime. We'd like to win it in regulation, but that's okay. 30 seconds later, Miller rips it from the top circle, scoring the game-winning goal with 30 seconds left in the game. The place went wild. Everybody in that arena was just waiting for overtime, and Miller rips it to win with 30 seconds left. Place was going crazy. Seattle pulls the goalie with 30 seconds left, but they would not be able to score, so the Rangers come out with a 3-2 regulation win against the Seattle, winning the season series against them 2-0. Rangers are now 29-13-4, sniffing for that 30th win of the season. We'll see if they can do it Tuesday night against Florida. With those 3 out of the lineup, my guess is they will not be able to, but you never know. You never know. Shesterkin has stolen games before. Shots 24-42 in favor of Seattle. So Shesterkin with a 40-save performance this afternoon. Pretty good. Faceoffs, 56.1% for the Rangers. So they actually win the lion's share of faceoffs. I'm curious how many games the Rangers have won this season where they also won in the faceoff dot. I'm sure it's not that many. Power play went 1 for 3, hits 23-24 in favor of Seattle, blocks 22-12 in favor of the Rangers. I'm sure there was a trivia question this afternoon, but I was there live, so I did not hear it. Hopefully you got the answer right. I'm sure I would have got the answer wrong. But a great game for the Rangers, get some momentum back after the past 2 losses after leading 2-0. Again, we'll see if they can do some damage against Florida on Tuesday. Florida is one of the hottest teams in the league. They do get home ice advantage. They are missing a couple key players, but if Shesterkin can just play on his head and the defense can be super strong, they have a chance of winning. They did beat Florida earlier in the season 4-3. So we'll see what happens. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next rundown.